So busy week. Obviously, you got the moving going on. Business wise, how's conversations? How's calls? How's the ad going?
It's been going good. So I've been getting a lot of people coming through the ad, which has been nice. I think the issue I'm facing now is so by the time by the time they come through, they click the ad, I send them the message, we have the conversation because there's a lot of stop starting going on.
Yeah.
So by the time I get the call, book through the conversations, not happen until the end of the week. So then, like a lot of my calls don't typically happen until I'll try and obviously be like, "Oh, are you free tomorrow? Get them on." But then I'm finding then it's not happening until late in the week. So like the conversations aren't. It's not to the end of the week. Then they kind of go through the conversation flow basically.
Yeah, sweet. Have you
Which
tracked it
means
all?
it's taking longer to get them on the call to use it as an opportunity to make the sale.
Yeah. Are you tracking the whole process from inbound lead to call booked to show rate?
Yeah, so yeah, I actually tracked it today. I realized it's because like shit, I haven't tracked it in 2 weeks. So I've had total, I think it was 230 people total come through.
Mm-hmm.
But recently, they haven't been opening as much, so the open rate hasn't been great.
Cool. So, I mean, let's do the maths on all of it. So, 230. Have you got it all tracked inside the tracker?
So I haven't got a conversation open track though.
No, that's totally cool. But like the tracker that I give you have all those sort of spaces being filled out.
Yeah, look. I know it definitely hasn't been filled out.
Cool.
I knew you were gonna ask me that. So this morning, I was like, shit, make sure I fill in these last little bits.
Do you know what it is? Everyone thinks I've like changed like businesses. I really haven't. I've just went from telling like fitness clients to start tracking their fucking calories to business owners to tell them to start tracking their fucking metrics. That's all that's changed.
I knew you were gonna ask. I was like literally as we were coming on here, I spent the last thing making sure I'm like, shit, put it. He's gonna ask it. He's gonna ask this.
It's all good. I tell you what, share your screen and one of us there, we'll have a look at it and then we'll just get on top of it.
Okay, it's terrible, man. You're gonna ask this. Oh yeah. So I tracked it. So I counted the total people I spoken to. So
Cool.
so
It's
the
230.
start of the year it works as around 115 each week.
Cool. Sweet. So in the first week, from 115, four people booked a call, yeah?
Yeah, and three showed up, and I closed three of them. So I put
Right.
that in. I put how many booked, and I put how many thing.
Sweet. So do me a favor on the second week where you have 115. Just delete that for 2 seconds so we can have a look at the data. So I don't have to do any maths. Go along to the right hand side. Just keep going all the way along to where the data is, and then we're going to scroll down to Instagram. Just scroll down to the bottom here. Keep going down. Cool. So stop there. For some reason that. I'll tell you what.
I haven't carried over the data. Do you want me to carry the data over?
It's all good. I'll tell you what. I'll just do it there quick. So, 15.
Let me make sure I put it in there right.
So basically, like every 28, nearly 29 leads are booking a call, which is fucking great. That's totally fine. How much have you spent on this total so far?
It wouldn't have been much. Let's see if I can find it. Because also we upped it.
Is it
So it's
about
been £10 a day we've been spending on it.
it's about a pound a lead?
Yeah, basically.
Because if you look like this, if if it's £1 a lead, and every about it's 28.75, so let's just say 29 people. For every 29 people are booking a call that come in, that's £29 cost per call booking, which is fucking great, dude. It's really, really good. Because so far, everyone but one person showed up to a call and you've closed them all. So that's what's that? It's a 75% show up rate. Yeah. With 100% closing. Now, like, realistically, 75% show up rate might stay the same. That's a really good show up rate. It's not like unreasonable for it to go down or like stay where it is. The closing rate's definitely going to come down.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? If you maintain a 100% closing rate, I'm going to be financing you to put as much money at this ad spend as possible, and we're going to and we're going to be splitting the profits. So
last week I had one person, let's see, how many showed up? Last week wasn't as great because some people just couldn't afford it straight off the back. Obviously, I took with that woman. I didn't even try to sell her.
Yeah.
I was like, she couldn't afford it. Then one other lady showed up. So 3 showed up, then I only had 1, but potentially she could become 2.
Cool. And that was the second week, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Sweet. Nice, dude. Just find out on total how much have we spent on this ad right now and what our cash collected and contracted is from you, bud.
So the total spent of this year so far is 134.86, like all time. And total spent so far, we've definitely made our money back. So it's only 539.20.
When did we start running this ad? Was it in January, or did we put it on just before January?
Just before January. I think I may have run it a week before because I was going through obviously the mentorship thing.
Yeah.
And then I thought, let me try and just put this together really quick.
Cool.
And then just put it out there. And then obviously it was like literally £2 or £3. I would have spent maybe prior, not much.
Cool. So what do you think was spent? Well, if we spent this month 134.86 and then you've spent another £10-20, would you say conservatively from that about 150? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd say let's say maybe a little bit more. Let's say I definitely was running it maybe 2 weeks before I officially joined. I seen, I was like, oh shit, this is weird.
I'll tell you, if on the very top right where it says maximum, you just change the dates from when exactly it was.
So I would say so. But that's what I guess. On here it's saying maximum, but I'm pretty certain because we would have started. So we officially started working together.
This is 2021, by the way. This is going back to when it says maximum. Yeah. We weren't together in 2021.
Let's see. I think that's everything. It's collecting all the maximum data from.
Yeah.
So this would have been so. I was running the ads around here. See, so I ran it for like 3 weeks. So should I check how much I was running from that 3-week period?
Yeah. So I just want to know from like this ad that's generating us clients right now, how much have we spent? So do us a favor. Are we on the right campaign target? Yeah.
Yeah. So these are the ones I ran.
Cool.
And obviously, should I go on the more recent one that we've created?
Yeah. I just want the ones that we've been doing.
This is one that we've been doing. So it's likely going to be this one. I think that's on that one. And this one. So this would be the recent spend. So this is the spend so far.
Cool. That's it. Sweet. Your ads manager is a mess. I would get on top of that because that's going to get worse and worse and worse as time goes on.
Yeah.
So what's that? That's 329.69. Cool. And then total clients from this so far.
So since obviously I made some sales prior on my own, and I made me obviously know that your system works.
Yeah.
So then that would be 4. Like I had I closed 3 last week, then 1 last week, so it'd be 4. And then each of them was paying, only one person was paying 175, and the rest are paying 200 per month. Times by 3, times by 4, so it'd be 3,100 if that's correct.
Cash contracted, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And then collected is 2, 4, 6, 7, 75. 775. And you have a CAC of, let's have a look. It's less than 100 quid. 329.69 divided by 4. Cool. These are the important numbers that we need to know here. Okay, like all these metrics up until that point now don't matter once we have these numbers. Yeah, so cost per lead doesn't matter. Cost per book call, nothing matters apart from your CAC and the total money that we're generating back from this. So CAC is customer acquisition cost. This is how much you're going to have to spend to get yourself one single client right now. The way we get this is we take your total ad spend and divide it by the amount of clients that you've getting. So 329.69 pence, what a great number, divided by 4 is £82.42. So you can decide how many clients you want based off that. If you wanted 10 clients next week, it would cost you about £820 ish. Might go up a little bit when we start scaling the ad spend, but it's not going to go wild from it. Yeah. That that number is incredibly important because that's the cost for you to get a client and do business. Yeah. We need to look at that number across your LTV. So I think your LTV, when we checked it, was it 1,100, 1,200, somewhere around there, 1,000? Yeah, if I remember. So it's like, if you know you're going to spend 80, let's say it goes up to £100. Let's say it goes up to £100 because we scaled the spend on it. If you're going to spend £100 to get 1,000 back within the next 4 to 6 months, that's a fantastic return on ad spend. If you go to the casino and know for a fact that every time you spend 80 quid in 4 months, you're going to walk away with £1,000, like you'd be going there every single day. You'd have a gambling problem. It wouldn't be a gambling problem because it would be working, and nobody has gambling problems when they're making money, do they? So that's really important. And then the thing that obviously matters the most is that return on ad spend. One of the hardest things to do for a lot of people is liquidate the cost of acquiring a client on the front end. So for example, if your cost of business for the first month is £200, it costs you £200. Yes, the systems, overheads, there'll be staff in the pipeline, etc. But if you're spending £200 to acquire a client and that client pays you £200, you break even on month one, and it slows down that scaling process. You don't have that problem right now. If you're spending £82 to get one client, and that one client's paying you £200, every client that you get in can buy you a new client. And you're still going to have 40 quid spare.
Which is good, because you want.
Yeah, that's what you want. Do you know what I mean? So ideally, all ads should ever do is basically just break even on the first month. Like, you'd be totally happy if it cost us 200 quid to acquire a client. You're just in a great position that it isn't, and it's only costing us £82 a client. So front end, it's super profitable. Back end, it's insanely profitable. I mean, put it this way: you've spent £329, you've contracted over 3k. That's like a 9.5. Well, off the top of my head, I think it's like a 9.5, nearly 10x return on ad spend.
It's good because obviously the full thing works out as 500, and I got how many other people I had? I got 3 other people from that as well. So
yeah,
3 other people on top of that. So.
Yeah, that's so like if we take in prior to this, it's even better. Do you know what I mean? So I mean, this is classed as like a worst case scenario, which is it's not a very bad scenario to be. But looking at this, dude, that's why I said last week, double the spend, just start moving as quick as possible.
Yeah, I was wondering because I was getting in my head. I'm thinking I could probably up this, and I'm thinking it's probably time because obviously the conversation because it's taking a bit longer to go through the flow. If I have even more, it'll probably go even quicker as well.
Yes. Yeah. It's it's a really, 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 really good place to be, mate. A lot of people will never get that sort of return on ad spend, especially not this quick.
Yeah, I think it works as just over 5,000 after spending 500 so far.
And remember, like, this isn't like a warm audience campaign. This isn't going to like current thought. This is like cold as fuck, and you're still getting a 10x cash contracted return. It's very, very hard to do. I wish I could have done that when we were in the fitness business. So I would, I would be putting this up, dude, every single time. Yeah, because that's a great place to be. I don't think people realize how good it is sometimes when we sit down and we break, the ads down, and we're like, great, you're doing a 3x, 4x, 5x, 10x, whatever it is. They don't see how amazing that is, but it's like people invest into stocks and shares and get an 8% return over 12 months. You're getting like a 200+% return on day 5 to 7. You're getting a 3,100% return on fucking month 3 to 4.
Mm.
If there was a stock or a share that you could put in and get 3,000% of your money back in 4 months, everyone would be fucking remortgaging their house. So, so it's like I know a lot of coaches, they think about property and investment and all that sort of stuff. The best investment vehicle that you've got, mate, is this fucking business right now. Because like this could, if you do this correctly, this is going to generate a lot of cash flow into the business. And with that cash flow, then you can put that money into stocks, shares, property, safer things that aren't, a risk of volatile, because you're only going to be able to scale the ads so far. Once you may be spending 500 or £1,000 a day on something like this, you can't really start putting in like 10, 20, 30 grand a month into this. So that's where you would then diversify your money into something else. But this is, the greatest investment that you can do right now is putting more money into this.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking the same as I guess. Probably time to up this again. I feel like definitely can do it. So.
Like I say, if you're taking, 6, 7, 8 calls a day, your business will just explode. And then we need to be looking for a coach as quick as possible.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay, probably why right now is just more calls, which means more opportunities to close more deals. Because honestly, since I've been taking these calls, they've been so much better compared to calls that happened before, man. Nightmare.
But that's it. I mean, you obviously the call last week was just all around sales. Then there was a lot that you took away from it. And even prior to that, you were closing people.
Yeah, honestly, that was good. Last week alone, I was like, okay, that made a massive. The woman I spoke to, like I said, I hardly said anything. I was like, damn, it works.
Yeah, sales is such a compounding skill, because it's like it doesn't just affect the next call. If you're going to be in business for the next 5, 10 years, it's going to have a huge impact on profit. It's like when I joined sorry, my fucking chest. There's a mentorship that I joined where it was like 11 grand for 4 months. To be honest, it was fucking shit. Like, they promised you the world, then passed me off to some success coach. And then the only thing I think I took away from it is seeing how much people were charging for their programs. But when I looked at that, I was like, well, I've instantly made my money back then, because it totally destroyed my belief around only being able to charge so much. So it's like we moved our prices from maybe, I'd say like for a 4-month program, it was something like £1,000, it'd be like 2,500. And I'm like, well, over the next 10 sales, I've made my money back, and everything for that for the rest of my life is all profit. So it's actually a great investment. So, sales is one of those things, or like when you have beliefs over things and you see somebody crush past it, has a huge compounding effect. Even something like this, where we're looking, and where you had in the past that belief that you were sort of nervous or scared to up that ad spend, if we can just get rid of that fear, like that's a huge fucking return on ad spend, just getting rid of that dumb fear.
Oh, 100%. Because like before, I've had it in a similar position. I'm like, oh, this is doing really well. And then that fear of being like, what if it doesn't work anymore? But in reality, it's going to keep working.
Yeah. And if it doesn't, and you've tracked all your fucking data, which you should be, we should be looking at it and go, why is it stop working, bro? Do you know what I mean? So, but right now, do us a favour, move this up again. Yeah. What is it per day in terms of spending? £10 a day.
Yeah.
Cool. Just double it again. Just move this one to 20. All right.
Yeah.
Because again, it will literally double the amount of leads that come through the front door.
Yes, but it works as £10 total to the thing. So I'll up it, I think, because I'm getting a lot of leads coming through now. I'm like, oh damn, I'm having a lot of conversations right now. But just having even more, like you said, with this skyrocketing.
You're just doing all the appointment setting right now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Cool, sweet. How do you find it?
I don't mind it, because obviously I was having a discussion with my girlfriend about it, and discussing, okay, how would I do it to manage my time better? For example, over the weekend, because we were so busy, because she's obviously trying to like move and so on, the time it took to actually like do all that, get on my phone, I was like, shit, I missed tons of messages there.
Yeah.
So obviously that delaying the process to get the calls booked. So what would you recommend then when I'm in that position where I'm like, okay, I'm earning enough, but I need someone to do this for me?
Yeah, so to me, you want to get somebody to do all the heavy lifting first before you pass off the whole job. Yeah. So it's like, aside from taking a sales call, the appointment setting part is generally the highest ROI point in your business, because you're booking sales calls to make cash. Do you know what I mean? So to me, early on, I give it away way too soon. Like I totally offboarded it, and I was like, fuck, I've got nothing to do. When I was taking 6, 7, 8, 10 sales calls a day, I'm like, great, I can't reply to people all day, and we're not booking calls now for 3 days because I haven't replied to people. Yeah. So for right now, personally, I would have somebody doing all the heavy lifting. In heavy lifting, I mean like replying to the first message, doing all the follow-ups, and starting new conversations. Because that's the hard part. Yeah, that's the, oh, for fuck's sake, I've got to go do all this. The easy part is so-and-so's replied list, let me send this one, and this one, and this one. Like, replying to messages is easy, starting them is a fucking pain in the ass. Yeah. So, if I was you, I would have somebody doing that. Before I suggest someone else, like a Filipino VA or something like that, to do the sort of like boring graft work for super cheap, what does your missus do? And does she have any interest in doing any of that?
If I was to get someone, I probably can. One of my sisters, I have a couple of different sisters. They probably be interested in doing something like that.
Cool. How much would they want you to pay them?
No, I could probably get away and be like, oh, how much do you want? What's a reasonable? What do you think?
Well, this is where it's just business at the end of the day. So, like, we all love family, but I also don't want to pay my sister twice the amount I need to pay someone. Do you know what I mean? So, to be honest, like, you can hire a Filipino VA for like £4 to £5 an hour.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So, depends how old your sisters are, but maybe they'll not work for £4 an hour. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The reason I asked the missus thing is because if you have a partner, they tend not to need money off you because you're keeping the money in the business for the two of you. So like Vita used to do all of mine at one point. Do you know what I mean? If the sisters wanted to do you a solid favour, then cool, do it. But personally, I wouldn't, because I know for a fact if you just paid a Filipino VA £4 to £5 an hour, they would never miss a day or ever call in sick or say they can't be bothered. Your sister might.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now with the Filipino VAs, I wouldn't have them as like full-time appointment setters because of like the cultural barriers a lot of the time. Like if you spent the time trained one of the guys up, then yes, 100% no problem. But there is just a cultural language barrier there sometimes. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, someone's talking about Netflix series and they don't have a fucking clue what you're talking about. Do you know what I mean? So personally, that's the first thing I would do, and then I would explore like a full-time appointment setter to take over that thing. Now, Mariana, Kev's missus, I don't know if you've seen her thing in the portal. She does like the full-time thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So when that time's right, it's not right now. When that time's right, I would maybe have that conversation and explore and see if that works.
Okay. Yeah.
When you hire an appointment setter, you can't hire an appointment setter to make you money. You hire an appointment setter to clean up the cash that's already there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody hires appointment setters thinking, great, you're going to go start all these conversations to grow my business. No. They're going to be there. Maybe if it's quiet, they'll go start conversations, etc. But to get the maximum out of them, if you're running media and people are coming through the front door and you've got somebody who's trained and skilled and speaks English and can just have conversations like this, they're great at just smashing cold bookings through. That's how you're getting the most from them.
Yeah, that sounds a really good idea. Because literally, we were speaking about, I was saying sometimes, I know it ever happened to you. You kind of get so invested in your phone, albeit maybe and a social thing event, a bit, oh crap, you reply to this person.
Yeah.
Even I know you to kind of switch off and be like, no, just leave it. No, it's money.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I would do. I would start with somebody to do all the heavy lifting because you can pay them like £3, £4, £5 an hour. Yeah. Then I would move into hiring like a full-time fluent English appointment setter. Because the thing is like sometimes if you just spend a little bit more money on a better appointment setter, it's going to make you a lot more money.
Yeah, 100%. Because they're going to be able to understand the conversations a little bit better and how it's flowing.
Yes, 100%. I think I've hired something like 9 appointment setters or something like 9 fucking VAs over the time, and one of them I paid $5,000 for. Bad investment it turned out to be. Oh. However, that's how much I wanted a really, really good appointment setter. Yeah.
Yeah. You want our presence who's going to know the audience as well, right?
Yeah. But I mean, at one point we had 3. Well, Mike was doing all like the follow ups, all the starting, all the kit and stuff. Then Arbor and I forgot his name. That feels really bad. He was only here for like 3 months. Sorry, he wasn't the best. But there was then two sort of appointment setters on like rotating shifts. So like we just had somebody 24/7 just doing shit in the account. Vita was the best appointment set I've ever had
Oh shit!
because
Yeah,
she just knew me. Like she just knew how I spoke. She could have that conversation. Totally fluent English. So yeah, that's why I was asking about the whole missus.
You'd I recommend that if you're doing that, you probably have to create a separate Instagram for anything else. Let's say your friends or people randomly send you stupid like memes or like these reels.
No. My best friend still used to send me, very edgy shit while everyone else was in my account. Yeah. Like,
the with the lads and thinking.
Yeah, the type of memes that you don't want anyone to know that like you're sending between each other. Do you know what I mean? You're like, we're gonna get locked up for this shit. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Nah, you just it's whatever it is. Do you know, it's just yeah. I wouldn't worry. As long as you're not sending dick pics to the missus on that account and stuff. Yeah. Filipino appointment setters like mine's bigger than that. What the hell? Yeah.
Okay, blocked.
Well, Chris, but yeah, I'll I mean, how many calls are you taking per day right now?
So there's not as many as I would like it to be because I think we're getting about 8 to 10 calls booked
a week.
Obviously, turns up, and then if they don't show up, then I'll also try and do something productive with it.
Yeah.
But I did try doing what you recommended in regards to following people. I tried it for a few days, but it was quite hard. Like I was trying to follow these people, but no one either followed back for some reason, or if they did follow back, it'd be hard to get the conversation going. How would you recommend? I want to try and do it again, but how would you recommend? Is it worth doing?
It is, just as like a bonus, but like the ads is the most important point here because we're getting the exact right person to come through the fucking DMs, and they're like ideally what we want, and they're interested. But I wouldn't worry about it too much. Are you finding that it's hard because it's hard to find like Afro-Caribbean women? Yeah.
That's what it is. I'm trying to find them, finding them. And some of them can be quite funny. Like they're very selective if they're going to follow you. But to be fair, off the back of the ad, I'm getting people follow me. So I probably go, because I'm trying to do the messaging as well. I have a shit ton of people that I need to message who've been just following me off the back of the ad.
Yeah, sweet. All right. Don't worry about it too much. All right. Because this is working so well. That's fine. All right. If anything, when you bring on like somebody to do the dog work and just starting conversations, doing the follow-ups, that would maybe be something that you pass to them and be like, hey, go find me at the back end of your shift when you've got 20 minutes left, 20 new Afro-Caribbean females from these 4 accounts.
Okay, nice. Yeah. I like that.
You doing daily follow-ups, yeah?
Yeah. So let's say they don't follow up. I'll go all the way back and I'll send like a message. What I've been finding, because I typically do, I think when you're training, as you mentioned, you kind of give them options. Is it this or is it this? Yeah. Then if they don't reply to one of those options, I'll say, or possibly this. Then some reason they reply off the back for that.
Yeah, like you won't fucking give up. Let me just reply to them. Sweet.
Yeah, no, like, oh shit.
Are you using like the flagging feature?
Yeah.
Cool.
Because I think it was Lewis. It may have been Lewis, or maybe I can't remember who it was, or I can't remember who said it. But they were saying you could label the leads and stuff.
Yeah.
How do you do that? I was trying to look. How would you
just open up your phone.
Yeah.
Just go into any chat.
Any chat there, yeah.
And then the very top right hand side where the phone, the camera, and then right next to it is a label.
Yeah.
That's how you label stuff.
But as in, how would you, like, let's say, I'm guessing you can't be like particular with it. So let's say I label it and saying follow back up with this person, or
no. So like, do you always say like flag, booked, lead, ordered, paid? Yeah. So like that's more than enough. So like we just decide what these mean. So like for me, flagged, we would do that with anybody that sort of just engages within the conversation, because like that's a lead now at that point. Anybody that, well, even that we would send a welcome message to, because we would then send a follow-up welcome message. Somebody who's booked has booked a fucking call. Somebody who's ordered, we would label somebody who's ordered when we would offer that person a call.
Okay.
Paid is obviously somebody who's now a client and paid you, but so that you don't get VAs and appointment setters trying to book clients on
Oh.
calls. And then I would use dispatched. If you turned around and said, Ryan, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm done, I'll label you as dispatched. So then in 3 to 6 months, I can then go, hey, Tevin, how's it going, man? Like, been a while, is the business dead yet or what? Do you know what I mean? So dispatched is just clients that have left. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's easy enough to have, because if you're going to hire a VA to do like the starting the conversations, the follow-ups and all that sort of stuff, they'll use that. They'll flag all the start of conversations so that the next day they can do a follow-up with them. Okay. Everyone that's in a conversation, what they'll do is at the very, like when you're in the sort of DM pod, at the very top right where it says filter, they'll go on where it says flagged and it'll bring up all the flagged messages. Then they'll just go on every single flagged one and just do follow.
I guess it makes it easy for them. It's more like categorized as well.
Yeah, way easier. When you come to take on somebody to do the starting conversations, the follow-ups and stuff, have you ever hired a VA before, or is there anyone that... No.
How would you go about doing it?
Well, ironically, Mike, who used to be my VA for 2.5 years, I think, he's a G. Like, he's an absolute G. Like, he saved my phone as Big G Mike. So, like, you know. I've just passed him to Tambia and Lewis, and he's going to do an hour on their account each day. Just doing all the follow-ups, starting conversations, just all those heavy tasks, do you know what I mean, that like are just sort of like get on the back of you sometimes. If you want, I can introduce you over WhatsApp to him.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, because the benefit is he knows what he's doing because I've already trained him. Yeah.
Any program he knows. Okay.
I honestly, like, I was so hesitant to get rid of Mike that I was like looking for things for him to do. I was like, what can he do? Because he's just great. He never called in sick. He's never not shown up. He's never missed a beat. If I've ever said like change this, it's just done the fucking next day. It's just a G.
No, that's it.
Yeah,
that's it. It does help because it is like you said, it's a heavy lifting task. And sometimes it's a bit like, oh gosh, I got to send all these messages, especially because I missed like that day I told you about. Also, yesterday, a couple of hours I was probably spending trying to follow up with people again, re-engage conversations. So it does take some time.
It's just like, if it makes sense for you financially, do it. Because it's like, if you're going to pay somebody £4 an hour, great. Like your time on a call is worth way more than £4 an hour. In fact, if you are tracking your data properly, it tells you at the bottom of the spreadsheet how much money you make per call.
Yeah, exactly that.
So if you're looking at that and you're like, well, I can sit on calls all day for 10 hours, and on average I make, because I pay the falls and monthlies and stuff, I make £220 per call. You're like, well, why would I spend an hour doing starting conversations when I can pay £4 and go and make 220 at the same time?
Yeah,
it's done.
Smart. Your time is obviously worth more.
Time's worth way more. Look at me, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I would. I'll drop you a message with Mike's number afterwards.
Okay, nice. And then when it comes to tracking the data, what's the best approach of doing it? So should I do it daily, or because typically I want to do it on Sunday, but sometimes I forget it. But how should I do it to make it easier in regards to like counting it? How do you recommend doing it?
I would do it daily.
You do daily, would you?
Yeah.
Is that the easiest way instead of getting confused?
Because it's a mess. It's like if you tell a client to track their fucking calories at the end of the week, like, you think they're going to track it properly? No. Other fuck. Okay. So, what I would do, because it's not like a full-time thing where you're going to sit down and do it. Like if when we've had appointment setters, I'm like, hey, have a laptop in front of you, have your phone here, and every time something happens, fill out the sheet. For you, so it's easy, just keep a note of it. Yeah, so inside your notes, I would just keep a tally of like 1's replied, 2's replied, 3 people have replied. Okay, I've offered 2 call offers now, 4 call offers. And then at the end of the day, you can just go back in the spreadsheet and type it in.
Yeah. No, I like that. Like, I'll say I copy and paste the conversation from the doc. So maybe at the top of the doc, I'll just write down how many people maybe I'm doing it, so I can actually.
Are you still copy and pasting from the Google Doc?
Sometimes the first message I'll copy and paste, but then the rest you can save it inside of Instagram, can't you? So I'll try and save it.
Have you? I'm sure I told you about boards, didn't I?
Boards.
Boards.
It's an app, isn't it? You told me about notes or something.
Yeah. So like, I'm gonna change your life right now. All right. That's how amazing boards is. So, do us a favor. Actually, I'll share the screen. So, this is like me. Before I'm like suggesting things like maybe you should hire Ray, but I'm now like gonna tell you that you have to download boards. All right. So this is like a non-negotiable because it's that much of a game changer. Mike already has it, I believe. So can you see this? Yeah, my screen.
Yeah.
Cool. So like if I'm here, I mean, let's just pull you up so I don't spam somebody. And we're in a conversation. I've got everything already here. So
shit.
I don't need to be typing stuff. So like if you're a new follower, I click this and I just type in Tevin here, and then that's it. I can send it.
Oh shit, that's sick.
Yeah, it's really, really sick. That's what I'm saying. It's non-negotiable. But if I'm coming through a whole DM script with you, I mean, let's find my old one. Here, I don't want to be typing out a fucking call offer. So it's like, boom, done. All I have to do is where it says goal is put the fucking goal in.
Oh shit, no, that's much better.
Yeah, like you'll come back and you say, yeah, sounds good, and I'll send you that. And then I'll send you the next one. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, you think about managing conversations and the amount of like time that you can put into it. That literally doubles and triples the output that you can expect from you or somebody else.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy, that's much better, yeah.
Yeah,
So it's called boards, eh?
Boards. Yeah, it's just white background, black text. I think it's something like, I don't know, £7, £10 a month or something. That's it.
Worth it.
It's way worth it. Because that's where it's like, you know, all the scripts that you have, the price objection script, the no-show script, the fucking follow-up scripts, you just have a separate board for each one of them. So it's like, Mike, Mike's got his, but you can then just invite him to your board if you wanted to. So he can be like, oh, this is Tevin's board, this is all his follow-ups. Now, if you're going to just use the ones in the poll, I think he's already got access to those ones. So it should be totally cool. Sure.
That's good. Yeah, but it's confusing anyway.
What I used to do with all the appointment setters is just tell them to download it, and then I would just pay them back at the end of the month for it. Because I knew the output I would get from them is worth the $9.99.
Yeah, copy in, the paste in, it does take time. Even if you save it sometimes.
Yes, it's fucking huge amount of time, especially when you've got different follow-ups, you've got different messages coming out, there's a whole sequence of flow, you got to go back and forth to it. It's like, yeah, that's the difference between somebody being able to manage 300 conversations a day and only 100.
Exactly.
For an extra $9.99. It's a great investment.
$9.99 like nothing.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. I just changed your life today. Anybody that downloads boards is like, it's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. It's like, it's so good.
I'm gonna link go and be like, yo, download this.
I feel like I need to get like an affiliate set up with them. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like I'm just telling everyone to download it. Yeah.
Everyone's gonna use what you recommend anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, download boards, but it's a big change.
I want to ask you actually. So this is one to know. You told me to ask, probably you to ask. In regards to, let's say you want to get a house and so on. How would you actually go about doing it in regards to the tax? Because obviously we want to try and not pay tax, I imagine. So how can you, without saying incriminated, how can you cheat the system?
This is getting recorded, by the way, so just be careful. If I wanted to pay no tax on anything, like, how would you go about it, right?
How would you approach X scenario?
Yeah. I would just move to fucking Dubai. I don't know, dude. Just not my area at all. Not my area. I would hire somebody like, you know, an accountant to have a look at that. Do you have an accountant right now?
No.
Cool. So it's even like, I got one like straight away when I was doing the in-person PT, and obviously legally, anyone who's watching this back, all right, legally, I basically just I haven't paid tax ever, yeah, but because we've always writ off things as expenses, courses, products, money back into the business, etc. Now, if I wanted to buy a property in the UK, that would crush me. Even though we earn X amount, on paper it'd be like, you're not turning a profit.
Yeah, 'cause that's what I was wondering. 'Cause I remember you saying, I was like, so that would probably affect you massively in the UK,
Yeah.
really.
It's like, even though you might be able to like get the deposit within a month, they'd look at it on paper and be like, nah, like according to paper, you don't earn anything. Do you know what I mean? So it's a fucking weird one with the UK where it's like, the year before you want to move out, I would just pay a decent amount of tax that on paper you earn a certain amount of money. It's really fucking shit, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Because like, you don't want to have to pay tax, but if you want to be able to get a mortgage and a house and stuff, then yeah, definitely. But yeah, we obviously plan on moving to Dubai at the end of this year. So
Oh, that's exciting. When you guys plan on going? Like end of December time?
end of December, hopefully. Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be sick. Have you thought about like, where you're gonna live and so on, or?
No, not really. No, just anywhere over there because you don't pay tax. It's like 5% corporate, I think it is. But yeah, we're gonna. You know, it is. We've toyed with it for like 2 years now. It's been like the do we not want to, and then when we obviously I've been over there for a bit. She hasn't been over there, so that was like the will she want to, will she not? But when we went to Malaysia for like nearly 3 months, 2 and a bit months, it was awful. Like, we hated the place, the weather was awful, we didn't like the culture, the people, the food was fucking shocking. Obviously away from home for a while, we missed Christmas. And I think like that made us both think like, oh, like, do we really want to move away, like abroad? Like, do we want to do this? But I think we've realised, like, listen, it was just that we didn't like Malaysia, not that Dubai's going to be the exact same. Do you know what I mean?
Very, very different.
But the thing is, I think it's from people that have, the like coaches really have spoken to that sort of, it's about like 10 grand to move your business over there. So it's next to nothing. We pay that in fucking VAT every 3 months nearly. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, fuck off. Do you know what I mean? However, when you do go over there, if you want a like an apartment, you do have to put like 6 to 12 months down.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's not like the UK where you just like, let me just pay you monthly. Sure. Because people are coming in now all the time. I think what we're actually probably going to do is when we do jump over, we're just going to get an Airbnb for a few months, probably a few different places. Be like, do we like it here? Do we like it here? Do we like it here? And then be like, right, let's explore where we want to settle down for the next 12 months.
Oh, that's exciting, man. That's really, really exciting.
But yeah.
What made you talk the idea? Like, what made it come about? Is it like you like the lifestyle out there? Or?
What made it come about? Paying ridiculous amounts of money in VAT, bro. That's what made it come about. Nah, I actually went first off with the first ever mentorship that I was a part of. They done like a Dubai event. They ended up kicking me out of the mentorship at the end of that event, but that's a story for a different time. But when I was there, I realised that Dubai's just lush. It's just got that like vibe about it. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like in Newcastle, not big headed, but like it's not a very like big pond, if that makes sense. Whereas like when you're in Dubai, you really do feel like a small fish in a big pond.
Yeah.
Because like you're like, oh, I'm crushing it, I'm in all this money, and then you're like, oh, that's a big guy, that's like 4 mil, like Jesus Christ. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like we stayed on the Palm, and as you're like driving down the Palm in the taxi, I swear to God, like this house, Rolls Royce, Ferrari, next one, Lamborghini, Bentley, like it's just ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? It's absolutely ridiculous. So it's got that vibe about it where you almost just like start at the bottom of the barrel again, which I think I like that. I like feeling like you got so much, to prove here. You got so much like so many steps to climb, like any at the top. I like that. And then obviously tax on the flip side of it, because even though that the cost of living there is a little bit higher, if you want somewhere central, you're going to pay like 3 to 4.5 grand a month to have like, let's say like a downtown whatever next to the marina place. Depends if you want to live centre or like away. If you're going to be saving way more than that on tax and VAT and stuff, then it's worth it. It's totally fine. Do you know what I mean? But I think a lot of people maybe go there like way too soon. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like,
it's not then with all this costs.
Yeah, because like I say, paying. Let's say that you get, and of course you can get an apartment for like $1.5 grand, $2 grand and stuff. But if you want something decent, do you know what I mean, a nice view and stuff, which that's what I want. I want something with a nice view. I don't just want a fucking brick wall in front of my window. Do you know what I mean? Then it's going to cost you a little bit. And it's like, if if you don't save enough money on tax and stuff, well, what's the point?
Yeah.
If you're a business that's not even paying VAT yet, like, are you really saving enough to justify paying that much to live that life? Like, not really. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. 32.
So the plan is not to live there forever. The plan is to basically be there for 4, 5, 6 years, whatever it is. Yeah, probably start a family over there as well, and then probably move somewhere else.
Because someone was telling me, because I seen a video. You Mike Thurston.
Yeah.
So he was saying you have to come back every 2 years, otherwise you use your British.
So 180 days you've got to spend in the country each year. So it's like half of the year you've got to be in Dubai, which that's reasonable. Do you know what I mean? It's like, when are you ever on holiday for 6 months of the year? Do you know what I mean? And if you are, your business is going backwards probably. Do you know, whether you've outsourced it or not. So yeah, it's like every 180 days you just got to spend in Dubai. So what we'll essentially do is sit down and go, great, we have 6 months of availability out the country. Where are we going to do that? Like, do we want to be home for Christmas? Probably. So like, there's 30 days. Like, do we not want to be in Dubai when it's 52 degrees during the summer? Probably. So like, let's maybe go to Bali for like those 2.5 months there, during or 3 months there. So like, you just sort of choose your bits. Do you know?
Yeah, that's a smart way to do it. That's exciting, man. So
Yeah.
you're gonna blow his thing up big, really. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah. That's the plan. We just sort of changed the, could call it like acquisition model. Obviously, I mean, you think about this, like this business is like 3 months old. Do you know what I mean? It's so fucking new, this, but it's like it's going like really, really well with it. So we've sort of been figuring out over like the last 3 months, like what is the acquisition strategy of this business. I first started off with a 28-day trial. That was great. That got people straight through the front door. That built up the community really quick. Operationally though, not great, because it's like I manually had to keep an eye on it. Yes, you can get a VA to do it and stuff, but that's a mess. Do you know what I mean? And then fucking school brought out the 7-day trial, and I was like, great, let's go over the 7-day trial. And we got a bunch of them on 7-day trial, and everyone but one person converted. And I was like, that's great, but the volume is tougher on that, because like, where are we getting these people through? Every time I ran an ad for a 7-day trial, it flopped. It's almost like the barrier to entry was too big still. Do you know what I mean? Then I was like, great, well, maybe we're going to go to like the free group model instead, because that's going to have people through in front of the front door, and then we can convert them over. It did do that, but the conversion's too slow. So it's like, the problem with the 7-day trial was, the fact that we weren't getting enough people through the door, but they were converting. The problem with the free group is we're getting shitloads of people through the front door, but barely anyone's converting. So it's like, I want something quicker. So we went back to the 7-day trial, and I've just decided I'm going to go all out on content. And that's going to be how we get people through the front door.
Hey, I did notice. I was like, oh, he's posting way more frequently.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Because it's like, I cannot run ads to the 7-day trial. I can run warm ads. People that have seen it for a bit, they'll convert over. But totally cool people, they don't give a fuck. They don't know me. They don't know the offer. They don't know the value. They don't know. There's no context there for them. It's just a 7-day free trial to some fucking business shit. Do you know what I mean? So, to me, I'm like, fuck it, right? Even though I hate content, let's just like dive all in on content, try and smash the organic content standpoint of it. Like, that's a lot of my focus right now, especially with the YouTube and like the Instagram and stuff. That's going to be the flow of leads, and we'll just push them all into the 7-day trial, because I know that when people come into the 7-day trial, they fucking convert, because they're like, holy shit, 100 quid a month for all of this. I'm like, what a fucking steal. I've just been quoted like £1,000 a month for less. Do you know what I mean? But the problem with the free group thing is that people are coming into it, and I've got loads of screenshots of everyone being like, my days, bro, like, this is more value than the fucking course I've just joined for $5,000. Like, I wish I found the sooner and stuff. But the problem is people still don't value free stuff. So the ones that were jumping in and going through the portal, they were like, wow, this is amazing. But then you had 80% of people that would log in once and never log in ever again. Like, I was jumping on fast track calls with people, and the fast track calls were literally me jumping on being like, right, you have 15 minutes to run through one of these 3 things, let me help you. Was not a sales call at all. I think of like 200 people that joined, something like 7 or 8 of them booked. Yeah, really, really low percentage for one. People don't trust you. They think it's going to be a sales call. Like, I'm not fucking jumping on that call with you. I know. I think you're going to sell me the shit, even though it's not. And I'm like, it's not. They just don't trust you. But even the ones I was jumping on that call with, I was saying to them, "Great, have you watched any of the poll? Have you been through this?" And they're like, "No, I haven't been through it yet." And I was just like, "My God, like this is everything that we've done to like just send our shit, and it's right there for free."
It's so frustrating because, like I said, as soon as I went through, I was like, "Oh shit, this stuff works."
Yeah.
And then when you go through, you see it. So would you say, and the people that you speak to, they're warm, like they're like, obviously, I was ready. I was like, I already was like invested regardless.
Yeah.
Would you say these people then, because they've gone through and they've had the value, is it making it more easier to convert the sale?
It is when they've used it, but that's the problem. Is people aren't valuing it because it's fucking free. So it's like you said, you went through, you used it, because you were like, it's 28 days, and I've got a deadline in 28 days. The problem with the free group is people are like, well, I've got free access forever, so there's no rush. And I'm like, what I don't want to do, I don't want to be one of these cunts that's like, we've got a free group, but you're only going to get 10% of what you actually need. Because that's how most people do free groups, and I hate that. I just hate it because it's like, I don't know. I think it's just slimy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'll not mention one of the other ones, but I've had a bunch of people say a certain guy that does LinkedIn, like his course is just, it's whatever shit, but it just, like, it builds curiosity for you to book a call with his team.
Oh, I know who.
I know who. We're on record, so I'm not going to say any names, right? But you know who I'm talking about, yeah?
I went through it, see, before I was kind of like searching to see who I could find.
Yeah.
I went through, I was like, this is shit. It's not giving you anything, really.
Yeah, but that's it. So, like, that's why I'm like, well, I could do that. I could be like, here's 20% of what you need. And by the way, if you actually want to make this work, you've got to jump on a call and have a chat with me and you'll get access in the mastermind. But that's not how I want to build my brand. I want to build a brand of people being like, I can't believe how much shit this guy gives away.
Oh, like some Uzi style, basically.
Yeah. It's like, did you see the content I done the other day where I was drawing on the iPad and stuff?
Yeah, I like that, yeah.
I'm just going to send the shit out of that. Because to me, like, you know, when we were speaking about visual hooks and stuff, it's very hard when it comes to business content to have a visual hook.
Oh yeah, that's true. I never thought of that. Yeah, you're right.
So like, I was sitting there, I'm like, how do I have a visual hook all the way throughout this thing without just looking like a bellend? Do you know what I mean? Without just like sitting here playing with like a Rubik's Cube or like, you know, like fucking fidget spinner or just like some ridiculous shit. And I was going to do it on my whiteboard. But the problem I feel with a whiteboard is like, it does my head in, and if something does my head in, I'm not going to do it for very long. So it's like, I mainly stay at Vita's. If I was to go home and use the whiteboard, I've got to like go home, set it up. I've got to set a camera up a certain way to like capture it without the fucking light shining off it weirdly. It's like, it's a chore. So I was like, well, and if I make a mistake, you can see I've like rubbed it out and like re-recorded the same thing again. So I was like, well, how about I just do it on the iPad and I just have a video of me and then a video of the iPad below, and I can just draw everything I'm saying and talking about. Because then it's visually stimulating all the way throughout the same thing.
One of those would definitely pop off, I think, big time.
I think so. I personally do.
Like what you're saying, visually captured, because it caught my eye. I was like, oh. Then it made you listen then, because obviously you've seen it, you're going to listen naturally. So yeah, I think that'll work.
Well, the thing is like I was asking loads of these, and if there's anyone that you know, tell us, but I was asking loads of these, like, who do you watch when it comes to like, you know, the mentoring space, whether it's fitness or non-fitness related, where you watch that content and you're like, fuck, that's good, like short form stuff, and everyone's like, nah, it's pretty all the same thing, it's just talking head, generic. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, there's got to be a certain way of getting it across that's unique and different. That's why I was like, well, if I do it all on the iPad, the one I'll upload today, I'll send you straight away, you'll love it. I'm basically just like, after doing over 1,000 fitness sales calls, here's the only way you can avoid getting price objections. It's like, cool, like, that's a great hook. That's like personal touch, authority, and then something super desirable that everybody gets price objection and they want to avoid it. Yeah. And on my iPad, I have the script in front of me. And as I'm talking through it, I'm highlighting each line. So it's like super visual. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, since nobody does it, and I generally think that it's a great formula, let's just do it all the time. Let's do like 30, 40, 50, 60 videos and see if it starts to gain some traction. Do you know what I mean? Because I think half of the problem is like nobody distinguishes other people's content from yours.
Yeah, can you swipe away? If you see like, this guy's again, swipe. But if it's interesting, you're gonna most likely pay attention to
That's
it.
what I mean. So I was saying to Vita, I was like, if a fitness coach comes onto it and all that's going on, there's a video. Have you ever seen like on TikTok where they've got like a GTA gameplay in the bottom and like some
Yeah,
avatar?
yeah, yeah.
It's like that, isn't it? But more educational. But if they come on it and they think, I've never seen this set up before from like a fitness, a business standpoint, I can't scroll because I'm not going to get this again. Whereas like when somebody's sitting there going, this is what you say to handle a price objection on the call, like, and they're just talking to the camera, they're like, I'll say that again. Like there's
Mm,
no risk there associated with it.
yeah.
So
There's
that's
this one guy watch. He does cold calls, and you may have seen him. And in his cold calls, he's playing something. So do you know what's the game called Jenga? So he
right.
might be doing different things.
Is he like an Italian guy?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's doing
yeah.
like pull ups on one of them and shit. Yeah. That's good. I love that.
I love that. He's like playing Jenga. He's taking the call, and that's a visual hook, right? He's
Yeah.
playing, and you're gonna listen and be like, oh, you made it fall. So
Yeah.
it's a similar kind of vibe. I like it.
Yeah, that's it. So like he's nailed, and obviously he's a bit quirky. He's got that like accent. He always starts the calls with like, is it going to totally ruin your day if I tell you that this is a cold call? Like, there's a bit of humor there for it. So yeah, you just got to find that little thing that's different. But the thing I was saying to Vita is like, if somebody copies it, you want people to go, oh, that's Ryan style of content.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know, like when Hermosi, started doing the captions the way he does, and everyone did the captions. They didn't call it just captions; called it Hermosi captions.
Shit, yeah, you're right. Actually, everyone, and that's what it was called. That was
It's called
how to
Hermosi
do
captions.
caption.
Yeah, like on Fiverr, they would sell it as Hermosi captions and stuff. So that's what I was saying. I was like, if I hammer that style of content, and even somebody decides to go away and be like, I'm going to do the exact same because it's working for him, I want people to look and go, oh, that's Ryan content. That's Ryan style of content.
Yeah, you're right. Because if someone sees somewhere else first, you always know it's that person.
Yeah. So yeah, you'll see the one I'm going to let you upload after this call. So I'll send it across.
Good, nice one.
Sorry.
Okay, I'll catch you, Nick. I know you got to go anyway.
No, I'm all good, mate. I might have to call with Lauren now, but I think we're going to move it to a different day because she's traveling. She's in Thailand right now. So
Oh, nice. That's exciting.
yeah. You been to like Thailand and stuff, or you been to South
I
Asia?
bet,
No.
my missus, she doesn't like these. She doesn't like these kind of. How can I say it? Because you're recording. She doesn't like a lot of Asian countries. She just isn't a fan of those kind of.
You can get away with saying what you want. You're black, dude. It's all good. Do you know what I mean? I cannot say this shit.
She doesn't kind of like that kind of stuff. So she's like, nah, that's not me.
Yeah.
So like something like Dubai though, she loves like Dubai. We went down America, obviously went Vegas, and she wasn't really a fan of Vegas that much.
No.
You been Vegas?
No, but my dad has. He keeps trying to convince me to go. So
I think you'd love it actually. I do think you'll love it. It's nice, but it's very much it's intense.
yeah.
That's the best way to say it. It's intense. If you're addicted to stuff, you shouldn't be going that place.
Yeah, I mean, I used to have a gambling problem, so like, maybe it's not the best place to go. Do you know what I mean?
Oh no,
Yeah.
for that reason, so many things to entice you out there. Like honestly, everywhere you're going. For example, we went into the casinos. Like basically all the casinos are. Fuck, do you know? Have you been to Manchester before?
No. I just live in my room and I just sit on these calls all day. But just that's what I'm gonna do when I go to Dubai. I'm just gonna sit in a room on this because nothing's gonna change at all. Yeah.
Newcastle, I imagine, have like a massive shopping mall, right?
Yeah. You got like the Metro Center.
Yes, imagine their biggest shopping mall, basically in every single hotel.
Yeah.
There's no exits. There's no signs for the exits.
Yeah, that's why you said it. It's like one big long thing that everything's connected to the next thing. Like, so yeah, I would go. It's just not top of the priority list right now. Do you know what I mean? But
I don't want to think it's like for how expensive and stuff it is. It's not really one of those things.
Yeah.
It's a necessity. You don't have to go. I don't think it's a place you have to go. Maybe like a stag do or something, you'll go. But
you said I had to go until you found out I had a gambling problem. Now you're like, oh, it's probably best if you don't, but it's all good. No, I just don't gamble at all anymore. I used to be really bad at it. I used to, this is when I was paid like in like £10 an hour, like terrible job. I'd play like £1,000 a hand on blackjack and roulette, man. It was really bad, really bad.
What you into? What made you start like gambling?
What made me start? Probably having no hope, no way. To me, when I was gambling, it wasn't fun. It was to make money.
Okay.
So
See,
when you work like a dead end shit job that sorry, I'm just getting rid of that. When you work a dead end shit job with like no idea of like what you're gonna do with the rest of your life, you just look for vices. And to me it
okay,
was
so that was
gambling.
kind of to take you out of it.
Yeah, but this is gonna sound like so delusional, but I was generally good at it. Do you know what I mean? So like funny enough, when you play like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hands of blackjack, and when you study it and learn basic like formula, you get all right at it. Doesn't mean that you're gonna win in the end. You're not. Do you know what I mean? But like I wasn't bad at it, so it's like I think I was up about 10.5 grand at one point.
Sweet.
Um, and then one day I was sitting on the settee and we were like, I think it was like Man City playing some like fucking shit third league team. They rattled them in the first half, and I was like, let me put I think it was like a 5.5 grand bet, all right, on Man City just to score in the second half. They did everything but fucking score, all right. Last minute hit the post, bam, right, and I'm like sitting there and I'm like dying inside. My mom's sitting there, my dad's sitting there, like none the wiser. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, I've just fucking lost 5.5 grand, and me being the moron that I was then, I was like, let me go get this back. £1,000 blackjack, £1,000, and I was down like 11 and a bit, and I was sitting there, I was like, my solution back then, this is how fucking dumb I was let me get a 20 grand loan, all right, and just put it all on black, and then I'll win it back and more.
Fuck.
I stopped myself at that period of time. I was like, you're retarded, bro. Like, let's just chill the fuck out on this, yeah. But it just been a long time of just shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, what?
The transition happened for you to go from obviously that's one extreme to then because I can see you're very like you're so focused with your business that you become addicted to your business. Now.
Yeah.
What kind of caused that to happen from
Well,
that?
it's like I have no desire to gamble now because I know how to generate money. I was only doing it to make money because I didn't know what I didn't know how. I had no skills back then. I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't doing personal training. Like I didn't know what I wanted to do the rest of my life. So it's just like it's escape. Or this is an option. This is a light. So like now I have no desire to gamble at all. Like even if we went to like the casino, like let's say I went with my dad because I am generally really good at blackjack. He'll stand behind me. He'll give me like a couple of £100 and be like, "Yeah, you're better than me. You just play this. I'll play." And if I'm winning, he just takes the fucking chips off the table. And by the end of the night, we've got like 3, 4, £500. But back in the day, if I was losing, I would clear out everything. Like I'd be like, right, I've got to get this back. It would just be chase, chase, chase. Do you know what I mean? So it's yeah, it was just I just didn't have a way to like win at life, and I'm like, well, maybe that's the thing, which is dumb because you're never gonna win. But when you're like desperate, you're like, fuck, I gotta find something.
I was thinking it's addictive because when you do win, there's a feeling you get.
It's dopamine, isn't it? It's dopamine.
Yeah, it is. So. It's like when you make a sale, you get dopamine when you make a sale. It's like, oh, that was good. I want more.
Yeah, but yeah, I just doesn't bother me anymore. Just for that pure reason of like I've got a thing that I'm interested in. Do you know what it is? I've got a very addictive personality. So when like I was the kid that would always play like video games just like 24/7. So like when I was younger, football was all I cared about. Just like I would just constantly play football. Then when I figured out video games, then it was like Modern Warfare 2. I had like ridiculous playtime on it. Then I moved over to PC, and there's a game called Dota 2, which is like a really nerdy fucking PC game. And I had 5,500 hours of playtime.
Yeah.
So, when I looked at it at its peak, I was playing 8.5 hours a day, and I was working a job. Like it was basically like having two fucking jobs. But like, I got really into that. And then when it came to personal training, I sent that. I just fucking lived in the gym and started just getting client. So I got really addicted to that. And then with the online side of stuff, that's where I was like, great, like this is my next addiction. It's just the online business, which is a lot better of an addiction than fucking, than fucking blackjack. Do you know what I mean? But to me, it's like if you're gonna do anything, just go all in on it. Do you know what I mean? That's a positive sometimes. There's also a negative if it's a bad thing to go all in on. But yeah, just I don't like to do things in halves. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like all or nothing. So.
No, I like that. Because that's the mindset I have. Because that's how you prospered so much in what you're doing.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I literally just spend time on calls with you guys all day, thinking about ads, thinking about marketing, and if I'm not, I'm watching YouTube videos on it.
Mm. Yeah, that's the best way.
Do you know what I
Your
mean?
mind's a consistently consuming.
It's like, I think I did an in person with somebody a couple of weeks ago. I think maybe it's Matthew. I'm not sure. It was one of the lads, but they were like, how do you get good at sales so quick? I'm like, well, I've done over 1,000 fucking sales calls. It's like, you should be pretty good at that point. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like if you play over 1,000 hands of blackjack, you should be pretty good at blackjack at that point. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's if you can do so much volume in a short period of time, you're going to become very good. It's like the fitness business, we only ran that for fucking just shy of 3 years, like 2.5 years. It's like most coaches barely even move the fucking business the needle within a year or 2 years. And like within the first 12 months, we were doing 20K a month.
Mm.
But that's because I just lived and breathed it. It's like within 12 months, I've done probably more work than somebody in 3 years.
Yeah, because some of you said what's it called, and it's been on my mind ever since
Speed
you
and
said
volume.
this probably comes in the blackjack thing as well, because you said on a call you said when it's working, how I scale so fastly, I put the house in it.
Yeah. And when it's blackjack, it doesn't work very well.
That's been me. Okay, I made my money. Let's put more into it. So
Yeah.
that's been in the back of my head since you said it.
Yeah. All ads is like when you start to figure out ads and you get something that's working that's like you. Yes, it is gambling, but it's calculated gambling. Because you go to casino, you don't have all these stats here. You can't see what the average return is. You can't manipulate this to work in your favor. Like, this is the game, this is how it's playing. They're always going to have a 3% advantage or a 2 or whatever it is. This, like, you are the house. You get to make all these rule changes. You get to, stop things, start things, decide how this goes. So it's like, fuck me, if you're going to do any form of gambling, like, gamble where you have control. Do you know what I mean? So...
No, I love that. Go on, it's been stuck in my mind since you said that. So like now we gotta go for it.
Yeah, I mean the first thing in the mindset part is it's just about speed and volume, isn't it? It's like how quick can we get this thing moving, and when it is moving, how much of it can we do? That's it. Because most people's problem is they just take too long to fucking start. So it's like if let's say we did our business breakdown and you came away from all this sort of stuff and I said, right, run the ad in this way and make all these tweaks and changes. You can do that day, or you can do it in fucking 12 months. Some coaches would do that in 12 months. A lot of them do. A lot of them, I jump on calls if I give them help, totally for free. I drop in with them 3 months later and they're like, oh yeah, I've just been busy, blah, blah, blah. It's like, great, like you just don't have the urgency, you don't have the speed attached to it. The ones that do action it quick, the next thing's volume. They're like, this has worked, I've took action, how much of it can I do now? Can I do, like, if I've decided to go to the gym on Monday, like, am I going to go to the gym now every single day? Versus like, oh, well, I just done it quick, I went to the gym on Monday, that's acted off. Do you know what I mean? So, volume's the next thing, which is why I just keep telling you to spend more money on that.
Yeah, 100%, honestly, because after we had our conversation, I came across a video of Alex Hormozi, and he's doing, it's like a massive like breakdown, and he's speaking about, and you even mentioned it as well, he said, people who make more money than you, all they're doing is doing more. They're doing more volume. That's what they're doing, so that's why they can earn more.
Every single fitness coach that I've ever spoken to that was doing more money than us was just having more conversations. And I'm just like, God, what a simple fucking like business this is. Do you know what I mean?
Let's do more. It's like, you found a system that's working, spend more. It's like, fuck, all this time.
The hardest part is finding the thing that's working sometimes, though. Do you know what I mean? So like you have that now. That's the heavy lifting is like, does this work? Does this turn a profit? Is this going to push me backwards or forwards? You figure that out. You just need to click one fucking button, which is spend more money, and then just basically have those conversations, take those sales calls, and don't change anything along the way. Until something breaks.
I learned my lesson. Because like I said, before it was working, made a lot of money from it, and I just switched it, I fucked it up, changed it, got shiny object syndrome.
Oh, I told you when we ran ads, we ran one that was working, basically the one that you're running right now. And then we tried every other fucking strategy and came back around to the one that was working. And I was like, you've just lost 6 months here, bro, instead of just doing this. Do you know what I mean?
Literally when we spoke, I was thinking, oh my gosh. Because when we came with that call, I was like, God, literally everything you said is literally what I've been thinking. And you said it, just reassured it.
Yeah. That's all it is sometimes, I feel like when I sit with a lot of coaches, it's like, it ain't groundbreaking stuff, but like the verification of somebody like maybe a step or two ahead of you going, yes, please do that. It's like, great, I'll go do it now. But it's that uncertainty of like, is it right? Is it not right? I'm not sure. I'll leave it. I'll just procrastinate on it. Do you know what I mean? So the thing I find with a lot of coaches is that a lot of them do well and then they start to go backwards because they've stopped doing the things that got them there.
Yeah.
So it's like one of the lasses I'm working with at the minute, she doubled her business in the first 4 weeks because I've gotten her doing things that she used to do, but she'd stopped doing. So before we jumped on a call, I dropped her a voice note. I was like, mate, just write a list of all the things that you've started doing now that you weren't doing before. We jumped on the call, she read it out, and I was like, if you ever want to leave me, just know that you'll be fine because you have this list. All right, like that, put that in a bank somewhere. Jane, but everyone does it. Like every time I jump on a call with a coach, I'm like, well, how were you doing that? What were you doing? I was doing X, Y, and Z. I'm like, great, how much of that are you doing now? I'm like, oh, well, I haven't. I'm like, what do you think we should fucking do then? Do you know what I mean? And it's, everyone does it. I've done it in the past, but like you say, you just need that reminder sometimes. That's it.
100%. No, it's good. I'm excited, man. Like it's still early days, and I'm excited. I know to spend more, you're gonna make more naturally now. So yeah, I'm excited to see.
I'd love to absolutely smash this in 2025, you bud. I'd love to just send this like, because I know you want to build something big. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, let's just fucking send a show with this. Do you know what I mean? Not everyone does. I know you might think, oh, everyone wants to build something big. Not everyone does. Not everyone has that desire. Not everyone has that like passion for like, yes, I want the stress of managing a team and building something big and having a huge business here. But if you do, then let's just absolutely send it again.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Just speaking about that, because literally I was having a conversation with the missus about, I'm sure when that time comes, he's probably going to tell me X, Y, and Z about it. Because we never had that conversation before. So it's like, oh shit, that's exciting. That alone is exciting in itself, to be honest.
It's just a journey, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? But yeah, exactly. I'll try and gauge around all the speed bumps so you don't get.
This alone in itself has been so much better than the other times in regards to like where you're learning, the effort that you're spending with you. Like it's been way better. You can see you care. See, that's the biggest difference. It's like, oh, this guy actually.
I only care when I'm recording, so that people think I care. No, I generally do. It's I love it. Do you know what I mean? I think it's I lost a lot of passion when it came to fitness coaching. I used to generally love that. I used to care so much about it, and I just ran myself in the ground with it. Where like I just didn't care at all. Do you know what I mean? Which that has a knock-on effect on everything. Has a knock-on effect of like how much time you put in the business, how much help and care you put towards clients, the type of results that you get. With this business right now, it's like going back to how much I cared for the fitness in the beginning. It's just like 10 out of 10. I just need to be careful that I don't take too many EVs on and I lose the love for it. So that's why I'm like, I think there's like 14 of years now. I'm just going to stop at 15 for a while and just keep it 15 of years, like one in, one out, and just grow the group. Because I don't want to lose this like I did the last one. Jerry.
Yeah, it gets overwhelming when you try and do too much. Because when things were going well, I was getting so busy and thinking, bloody hell, this is getting a bit much, is it? And that's why I try to change things up, and then it's like, maybe I need to change it up, but really I did need to.
But the thing is, like, you will leave fulfillment at some point. You will. I don't plan leaving fulfillment in this business, hence why I'm building a group model. Because I don't want to pass it off to somebody else, because it's an industry where everyone has a bad name. So let's just be the one guy that everyone always just says really nice things about. Do you know what I mean? So in the fitness business, though, you're not running a group thing, you're running a one-to-one coaching standpoint. So if you want to scale your business, you're going to have to leave fulfillment, because the next thing you're going to have to leave is the appointment setting. Somebody else is going to have to take over that. You're still going to take sales calls and do a few coaching clients. Great. When you start to take all these sales calls, you're not going to be able to do all these clients either. You're going to have to hire a coach. So you're going to start passing people off to that. At some point, you're not going to be able to manage all the fucking sales calls. So you might do half for you and half for somebody else, but at some point you're going to have to step back from that. Because like the fitness online business is just marketing and sales. That's all it is. The fulfillment is very, very easy. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, you can't fulfill your way to growing a big fitness business.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, if you do start to lose a passion for fitness at some point, just know it's cool, because you're not going to be there forever. Do you know what I mean? It's not the mechanism to grow this business.